everybody, we're going to get right into finding what our problem is about today. So our problem today has something to do with photographs. Let's check it out. All right, everybody, we're going to go right into this problem about photographs. I have this side-by-side view just to give us a little bit more of space to show our thinking. I'm going to start by reading the problem. It says there are 6 photographs on each page of an album. One page of the album is shown. How many photographs are there on 9 pages of the album? Okay, the answer choices are 48, 45, 15, and 54. Although the answer choices that they provide for this particular problem just give an answer, that's not what's expected of the students. What teachers want students to do is not only be able to find the answer, they want to see their thought process through getting to the answer, meaning, do they understand what the question is asking? Can they make a representation of what this problem is asking? And then can they actually solve to find the answer? So they want to see all of these aspects, and each school in this area uses some form of this. The form that I'm going to use is a 4-step process. So it's basically going to be 4 different boxes, and some teachers call this a window pane. The very first box, again, it varies what the teachers expect them to do in this first box, but a great way to see if your students understand the problem at home is, instead of rewriting the question, make them turn the question into an actual statement. So if I were asking, if I was asking this question directly, my response would be, there are blank, because that's going to be where I put my answer, photos on 9 pages. So I'm setting this up as if I'm answering that question. Again, the question is, how many photographs are there on 9 pages? So my response will be, there are blank photos on 9 pages. Again, that's just a great way to check and make sure that your child understands exactly what the question is asking. Now we're going to move to the next section that's on the right. And again, it varies what your child is expected to put in this box. What I'm going to show is basically creating a picture of one of those moves that I discussed in my last few videos. The way to basically construct or come up with what move it represents is to go back into the problem and gather the evidence that you find. When I look back into this problem, the first sentence is very important. And here's what I mean. We know that from this statement, it says there are 6 photographs. As we can see in the picture, there are 6 photographs. And just in case you're wondering, these photographs are my 2 little boys. Well, when they were little, they're a lot older now. But this is pictures of them growing up. What does it mean, though, by saying 6 photographs on each page? In other words, how many pages is represented by that statement, each page? When they're referring to each page, it's actually just talking about one page. There are 6 photographs on one page. And what I'm going to do using a strip diagram is represent exactly what that sentence says. How can I represent one page? Well, what does a page look like? Usually a box, some sort of rectangle or square, right? And I'm going to label it. This is one page, or page 1. Well, what's happening on that first page? If we look back at the problem, it says there are 6 photographs on one page. So I'm going to take that and think about where in this picture would I represent that 6? Well, the photographs are on the page, so that means that the 6 must be inside this box. So this is how I would take that first statement and make it into my own picture. On one page, there are 6 photographs. Okay, now if we keep reading, one page of the album is shown. The question then asks, how many photographs are on 9 pages? So they want us to change this picture to show not just one page, but 9 pages. So what part of this would I have to expand or grow to show 9 pages? Well, I can see based off of this, my pages are the boxes. So if one page is one box, I need to represent 9 boxes now. Now, your child doesn't necessarily have to sit here and draw out 9 boxes. If you remember from my last video, you can do what I call 1, 2, skip a few. So we know on another page or page 2, there will still be 6 photos. I can see that this pattern is going to keep going and going and going until I do have 9 pages. So this is a way to show without basically creating all 9 of those boxes. You're showing that this same pattern is going to continue until you get to those 9 boxes. What else do I know about this? Well, I also know that on every page there is 6. So 6 still goes inside that box. When I combine all of these parts, I am going to eventually come up with my final answer, what the question is asking for. Does anybody see the move yet? If not, stay with me. Because I remember from one of the videos that I did earlier that I need to think about some components of this. Think about the examples that I did before. We know those boxes that we make represent groups. We know that E represents what's in each group. And we know T represents our total. Okay, anytime we have some sort of repetition, we need these letters to figure out which one it is. Now, if you haven't by now, you should have this narrowed down to either division or multiplication, because both of those operations, both of those moves have something to do with groups. And as we can see from the model that we created, there are groups in this problem. The groups are represented by the pages in this book. Okay, now looking at our model, which number represents the number of groups? Well, as we know, that's the pages. How many pages are in our model? There are 9 pages. So next to G, I'm going to put the number 9 because there are 9 pages. Now the E represents what's in each group. But when we relate that to this problem, we're basically looking for how many photographs are on each of those 9 pages. And for this problem, there are 6 photos on each page. Okay, our total, which we can find at the top of the strip diagram or could also be at the bottom, is actually what our question is asking for. They didn't give us a total. We have to find it. Based off of this setup, if you guessed that the move for this particular problem is multiplication, you are absolutely right. Our picture in the GET setup is showing us that we are putting together equal groups. So we're putting these photos together in equal sets. Every page has 6, so there's 6 here and 6 here and 6 here and 6 here, and that continues until we have represented 9 pages. So in the third box, that's diagonal from the box we were just in, we're going to come up with a number sentence that represents our pictorial model. And in this case, it's 6 times 9, which means we are doing 6 9 times. 6 because there's 6 photographs on each page, and we're using 9 because they want us to find out how many photos will that be on 9 pages. Okay? Now, I'm going to use one of my skip counting songs to help us solve this in a fast way. Those videos will be coming up soon, but follow along with me. So I'm going to count by 6s 9 times. This particular song goes to the tune of London Bridge is Falling Down. So it goes 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, and 48, 54, 60. Now notice I went through all 10 just so you can see the song, but our answer is going to be found by looking at the number that is 9th. So when I count by these 6s or through these 6s, when I get to the 9th number, that's going to represent my product for this problem. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 54 is my answer. So now I can fill in this blank. There are 54 photos on 9 pages. Now the very last box, again, varies by teacher. Usually it's some sort of explanation as to how you got your answer, or the teacher may want the student to write another way to show what you did. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to basically tell what I did in math terms. So what I'm going to do is write a sentence, making sure that I use the math terms that go along with what I did. I multiplied 6 and 9 to get a product of 54. You might be wondering, why is that important? That students know how to put their math in words. Well, in many cases, they are asked to come up with the process they used in words. So this is basically practicing for when they actually come across a problem that has this. And we will, as I do more of these videos. But the most important word out of this is that word product. Because the product is an answer to a multiplication problem. So if they're able to make that connection with the word, the actual mathematical term, that lets you know that they clearly can see what process is taking place within the problem. So to wrap all this up, now we can go and choose our answer. In this case, our correct answer is represented by answer choice J, 54. Again, I know this is a lot, and I know that those of you who were born and raised in my time or earlier, we could just come up with the answer. But now it's all about the process to come up with the answer. Knowing how to come up with a picture. Knowing how to visualize how you came up with the answer. Knowing how to put your process in words using correct mathematical terms. So I'm going to be taking my time, walking you through each of these. Hope you guys enjoyed it and got some information from this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Everybody take care.